ready to explore some dark corners. We're diving into Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, but going way beyond the usual, like, oh, lost love, spooky bird stuff. Trust me, even if you think you know this poem, there's more to uncover.
Oh, for sure. The Raven is one of those that just every time you read it, there's something new.
Right. Like Poe himself said, he practically engineered this thing for success. Is that just an author's ego? Or was there a method to his madness?
Probably a little of both, honestly. You see, Poe really wanted something that would grab those lit critics and the everyday readers.
Ambitious?
Totally. He even wrote that essay, The Philosophy of Composition, where he, breaks down his process.
He was giving away all the magician's secrets?
Well, sort of, but there's debate on whether he was being totally truthful there, maybe spicing things up after the fact. But no matter what, he was aiming high. Masterpiece. Andy a hit.
And he nailed it, right? It blew up, especially that one word, nevermore. Why is that single word so good at making things creepy?
It's more than just creepy. It's like a mirror to the narrator's mind, Each nevermore is another crack in his sanity.
Because it's like he's stuck on the grief, not healing.
Exactly. Poe was amazing at being ambiguous, lets the reader decide some things. But that word, it gets in your head just like it gets to him.
Now, Poe was a huge Dickens fan, and I heard there might be a link between The Raven and Barnaby Rudge, that Dickens novel. What's the story there?
Well, you did your homework, yeah. In Barnaby Rudge, there's a talking raven, very similar to Poe's, and Poe was so careful, such a fan of Dickens, hard to think it's just coincidence.
So maybe a little inspiration from a hero.
And there's more. A taxidermied raven. Some think it was Dickens' own N, the one that inspired him, so we might have this object connecting both of them.
That's wild. Poe might have seen that very raven. Talk about literary history.
It really shows how, writers and ideas are all connected in these weird ways.
Like a literary game of telephone, but with ravens and famous authors.
Speaking of connections, the raven itself isn't just an Hemingway bird, right? They've got this whole history and myths and stories and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Thought, memory, messages from beyond. Ravens go way back. Like in Norse myths, Odin, the wisdom god, he had those two ravens, Hugin and Munin. Thought and memory, right there.
No way. That's a coincidence with our poem's narrator and his, thoughts about Lenore.
Yeah, it makes you think. It gets even more interesting. Hebrew folklore. Noah sends a raven out from the ark, right? Hope, new start, but also darkness, punishment. It's all there.
So Poe's raven, it's like this symbol with all those threads: thought, memory, afterlife, hope, punishment. Man.
Right. Reflects the narrator, too, this descent into madness. Is the raven a bad thing or just showing us his fears? Poe doesn't say.
He's like a magician with puzzles. His poem's full of them. Like the bust of Pallas Athena, wisdom goddess. The raven's on that. Why that detail? Ooh. Good one. Couple of things there. Athena, she's logic, reason, and the narrator's falling apart right next to that. Like, he can't reach the wisdom.
Grief's got him blinded to everything else.
And don't forget, Athena was also a war goddess. So there's this battle in his head, and he's losing.
And that setting.
Yeah.
Bleak December. That's got to be important.
Totally. December, dead of winter. It's like the end, darkness, death. Fits the whole mood, like the narrator's inner world, but outside.
So even before the bird, it's already grim.
Exactly. Then there's Balm of Gilead, that biblical reference. Always gets me.
Me too. For anyone who doesn't know, it's this super rare perfume in the Bible, healing stuff. But here, it's the opposite almost.
Yeah, it's like he wants relief so bad, but he knows it's impossible. It just makes the despair worse.
Like taunting himself with a cure he can't have.
And that goes back to nevermore. Stuck.
Poe knew how to use a small thing to really get you.
Yeah.
We got to talk about how this poem hit the world, though. The Raven, it wasn't just popular. It was like a rock concert.
Oh, totally. That dark feeling, the rhythm, nevermore. People were reciting it, putting it to music. Poe was the guy.
A poem from, the 1840s.
Yeah.
Still has that power. Did he know he was doing that, making something timeless?
Who knows what he was thinking? But he hit on something everyone feels. That darkness, the unknown, things that stick with you, timeless stuff. Makes you wonder, was this all planned out, or was Poe just letting it all out?
Yeah, that's the thing that keeps people guessing. Even now, Poe, he was all about logic, strategy, right? But the Raven, there's a feeling to it, like something deeper is going on.
It's like you could almost feel his own grief in there, The lost love, the memories, it's all right there in the narrator. And Poe's life, his mom dying young, his foster mom, his wife, Makes you think some of that had to be in this poem.
Oh, absolutely. Loss was a big part of his life. And you can see it in his writing. Death, grief, not being able to move on. It's more than just, being clever. It's real.
So the Raven, it's not just some guy being sad. It's like looking into Poe's own struggles. That's what makes it stick with you. It reminds us that even the most technically perfect art, it can still be personal, driven by what the artist's been through.
The Raven, perfect example. The skill is obvious, but then that raw emotion too. That's Poe.
100%. Taking those dark feelings, the pain, and making it beautiful, haunting. You don't forget that easily.
As we step out of the Raven back to reality, I'm left wondering, is this a sad poem? Or is there some hope hidden in there? That image, the Raven just there forever. Is that just grief? Or maybe the way we hold on to people even after they're gone.
Nice way to put it.
Even after a deep dive, the Raven's got more to say. That's why we keep coming back to these classics, right? Always something new. So until next time, keep digging into this stuff. You never know what you'll find.